afternoon, moms and dads. Welcome to Nito's Parenting Masterclass Toddler Expert Tips presented by Nito 3 Plus. Todo protect their toddler years with Nito 3 Plus. I'm Iya Villania, now a proud mom of three. Ah, yes, Prima Leon. And our newest addition to the family, of course, my baby girl, Alana. Yes, I have a baby girl. Now I can stop. I can stop at three. I'll be your host for our very fun and informative talk today. But first, hello to all the mommies and daddies who are tuned in to us right now. I hope you're all doing well and that you're all safe in your homes with your little ones. Today, we are going to talk about a topic that's very relevant for parents with young children, me included. The reality, is that we've been in quarantine for around 5 months now. And for how many more months pa? We don't know. Sana, let's give it maybe another 3 months the most. But since we've been stuck at home, it's understandable for parents to be worried about their children not getting enough socialization or struggling with isolation. With schooling now done online, tapos yung mga play dates pa discouraged, hindi na nakakapag-socialize face-to-face ang mga anak natin with their classmates, with their peers, and with their playmates. So, syempre, this poses a challenge since early socialization is very important in supporting children's development. And this is crucial in helping them grow up to be well rounded adults. And this is precisely why today we'll be tackling our topic how to keep your child social while social distancing. Yeah, mommies and daddies, paano nga ba natin sila matutulungan makipag-socialize in the new norm? At ano nga bang mga role ng family or ng buong family, especially since tayo-tayo lang naman ang magkakasama sa bahay. Tapos lastly, how can we properly utilize technology as a safe alternative to face-to-face interaction? So, syempre, joining us today is teacher Tina Zamora, who will be sharing her expert tips and insights on this topic. So, teacher Tina is a family life and child development specialist, and I'm sure we'll be getting a lot of info from her today. So, good afternoon, teacher Tina.
Good afternoon, Iya, and to everyone who's watching this Toddler Expert Tips of Nido 3 Plus.
Thanks for joining us today, teacher Tina. Before anything
Thanks for having me, Iya.
Maybe you can just tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do.
I'm a family life and child development specialist. That means we study children in the context of their families. I'm also the school director of Nest School. It's a progressive school in Quezon City.
All right. Now, I'm sure a lot of our viewers have questions to ask you. I also have questions to ask you, especially when it comes to helping our kids stay social even while in quarantine. Now, personally, I'm quite relieved that I have two boys, Prima and Leon, who can keep each other company, especially when Drew and I are busy. But paano kaya, Teacher Tina, yung mga tao or yung mga moms and dads natin dyan na isa lang yung anak nila or they have kids but medyo far apart yung spacing ng ages nila. So I'm just curious to know, how to handle things like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of our parent viewers are curious too. So I'm so glad that you're here to help us out today. Clearly, we have a lot of questions about how to deal with our toddlers in this day, and of course through this pandemic. So we're happy that you're here to help us out.
I'm happy to be here, and this is my favorite social domain of a child. Yeah, it's the social domain. It's how a child connects with other people, and I'm happy to be here to explain it to the parents and to you because congratulations, you're now a mother of three.
Thank you so much, Teacher Tina. To our viewers, you can ask me or Teacher Tina all of your questions by leaving a message in the comment section. We'll try to answer as much as we can later on, or even during the discussion. Just don't forget to include the hashtag Toddler Expert Tips, okay? But before we start, I would like to remind you that for more toddler expert tips, you can follow at Nido3Plus on Facebook. And you can also search Toddler Expert Tips on YouTube for more videos from our experts on relevant topics. And don't forget to subscribe to Nido's YouTube channel, Nestle Mom and Me Philippines. And you can also follow our YouTube account. Nag-plug din ng sarili. Okay. All right.
I watched that.
Tina. Yeah, thanks, Teacher Tina.
Yeah.
All right, so Teacher Tina, we have our first question. Just how important is socialization in the development of young children, particularly those who are 3 to 5 years old?
Well, I think you experienced this with Primo, Iya, that, children, their social circles should widen as they grow. So at
Mm-hmm.
first, they're only with their families, and then they're with
Mm-hmm.
their playmates, and then they're
Okay.
with their classmates and teachers. But right now, they're having an issue because they can't go out, right?
Yes,
So we still need to be very conscious in teaching them how to connect with other people.
that's
And it
right.
doesn't matter if they are at home, there are
Mm-hmm.
still ways to have them connect with other people. And that's where the parents have a very major role. And
Mm-hmm.
pinapanood ko yung vlog niyo ni Drew, ha. Very connected kayo dun sa mga bata. Good
Yes.
good job yan, Mommy Iya. So that's only one domain that we need to develop with children, but we have to be
Mm-hmm.
very conscious about it because right now they can't really physically connect with other people. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
find ways in order for them to connect with other people without, physically going out or because of this social distancing.
Mm-hmm. And lalo na, Teacher Tina, it is from ages mga 3 to 5 when kids really learn to be social because it's this stage where,
Yeah.
they can talk, they can express how they feel. Lalo na with Primo, like he talks so much. Oh my goodness. And he really will tell me, Mama, I don't want that. Or Mama, like, kunwari, if he needs to do something to earn him some game time. Kung hindi niya type, sasabihin niya, I don't want to, Mama, and then he'll just go off and play with his brother. So, yun nga eh, they can really tell you. Or there was a time where he'd say, Mama, I want to go outside, or he wanted to go outside to do what he would normally do with his Lola, like take a trip down the road, walk outside. And we had to explain to him, love, we can't right now because there's a virus outside and we don't want you to get sick.
Oh, that's good. You have a lot of conversations with your child. And I encourage all the parents that in order for your child to connect with other people, the first connection of your children should be with their parents. And Iya, you can be physically together with your child 24/7 and still be socially distant and unconnected. So it's very important that you have to make do of the 24/7 closeness that you have with your children right now. This is what you wished for before this everything
Yes.
happened, that more time with your kids.
And now
Now
we
that
have
you
it.
have it, yeah, now that you have it, you have to be really conscious on how you connect with them because, Primo watches you and Papa Drew connect with other people via Skype or when you Zoom with somebody or when you call someone or just simply by talking to someone in your building or in your house, in your village. They observe you and you are the role model for them on how they connect with other people. So your energy is what is being taken by your children. So
Mm-hmm.
if you have a social energy, then your child will also have a social energy. But the first step to do is to connect with your child.
Yes. Actually, I was gonna ask because baka, people might be wondering why. What is it with being able to socialize? What are the benefits of socialization at an early age?
Socialization at an early age, yeah, you're introducing your child that you're not the only people in the world. Meaning, you have to widen that circle of interaction of your child because
Mm-hmm.
when they grow up, they need to be. It should be very easy for them to connect with other people. Why? Because they should be able to help other people, or they
Mm-hmm.
should be able to work in an environment where they can be a team player or a group player. Because we have a lot of people who are very intelligent but don't know how to work in a group,
Yeah.
right? So we
Mm-hmm.
have to expose them on how they should be to adapt with other people. That's a very important domain that we need to develop with children. And right now, parents are having a hard time doing it because of everything that's happening with their social
Yeah.
distancing, physical distancing.
Because of the
So
restrictions that we
we have to
have.
be more conscious. Yeah. So the first thing that we have to do, Iya, is to be mindful first of how are we good examples to them when we interact with other people, because they
Mm-hmm.
watch us, they listen to us when we're on the phone or when we're with our angels at home. When you talk to them, the ones taking care of your children, they observe you, they watch you and how you are with other people. So you're the first step, how you connect with your child, and by being a good example to them.
So, Teacher Tina, how can you say that the whole situation now has changed things and has affected our children? Kasi, syempre, naturally, Yung family na lang ang laging kasama ng mga bata ngayon sa bahay. So, what
Well, no,
role does the family play in socialization? Like you mentioned nga kanina na yun nga, they will see how you socialize with other people and how you talk to other people, and they will model the same thing.
ang daming changes. Iya, kasi imagine, pati yung nuances natin on how we greet other people, nagbago, di ba?
Yeah, wala
Nakikita ko
nang
yung blog
yakap,
mo and
wala
then
nang
walang
beso-beso.
yakap. I see whenever you bring Primo to the market, he easily talks to the stall
Yes,
owners. You encourage him to talk to them, and
yes,
marunong
even
siyang
if he doesn't
magpupulgi
know
ng sukle.
who they are.
I know. And suddenly all of that is going to change, right? So you have
Mm,
to be very creative as parents na paano ko gagawin ito na makakakonekta pa rin siya. Ngayon, you have to be also very forgiving of yourself and your family. Later we'll go to the first tip because that's where the family really enters. But you have to be
actually,
forgiving also for yourself because we're all on this together. We're all having a
mhm.
hard time. No?
Yun nga, kids should be able to identify or nakakabasa ng muka, no?
Yes, di ba
Actually, I have
nawala
to
sa
say,
atin yun, Iya?
actually,
Yeah.
you know what, Teacher Tina, I think that's one of the benefits now of early socialization of kids, because Primo, he is so good with that. And it's so important for him
Mm.
to look to see my face, because that's when he knows, okay, mama's not happy. And if he sees that I'm not happy, he'll ask me, Mama, are you happy? But he'll ask me just to make sure na
You know,
tama ba yung nakikita ko, kasi you don't look happy.
that's a perfect example, Iya, because we always tell our professors always told us before that children can read even while they're infants because they can read the faces of their moms.
Mm.
They should be able to know when you're angry, when you're sad, when you're happy, and that's where empathy goes is developed, and that's how social development. That's really the definition of social development, which is
Mhm.
being empathetic with other people.
That's right. All right. So, Teacher
Yeah.
Tina, why don't we go ahead and start with our tip number one? Stay
Yeah,
social
and but
as a
before
family.
that,
Yes? Oh,
but
before
before
that,
that, we
wow,
should
agad-agad
we
may mga
should
tanong
read
na tayo.
questions. Ang dami nga nagtatanong sa atin, Iya, ha? Nakakatatlo na
Actually,
kaagad.
let's
So,
say hi to a few of our friends.
yeah.
Princess Savannah Milyapes. Hello, Princess. We have Janica
Hello.
Rolete and Asil Chiong. What's up, Chiong?
Oy, thank you for watching and thank you for your questions. Do you want to read the first question, Iya?
All right, the first question is from Mommy Aubrey. How can kids safely socialize during the new normal? Hope you can share tips, please.
Well, safety is really our number one priority right now, especially health and our mental health. But we
Mm-hmm.
also want your children to connect with other children. So why not have a Zoom play group? Or if your child is celebrating his birthday, you know what my one mom friend did was she sent candies to the classmates, and then they gave the souvenirs for the birthday party, and they Zoom called each other so that the children can see each other all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be physically with your playmates and your classmates right now because it's really not possible. But you have to give them opportunities to talk with each other, even online.
And you know what, Mommy Aubrey, they even have may mga pa-events na ang mga bata sa
Oo nga.
Zoom. Yes, like they have
Meron pang mga
they
concerts, di
have
ba,
they
Ika? May
have
mga
events.
concerts
Yes.
pa.
Oh, so there are
Alam mo, ang
ways.
maganda dito, very creative na. Very creative na mga parents dahil nga hindi
Yes.
nakakalabas ang mga anak nila.
Yes. So
Okay,
Mommy
I'll
Aubrey,
read.
may paraan pa.
There's always a way to connect with other people. O question number 2 from Mommy Patrice. Teacher Tina or Iya, okay ba ang online play dates? Will this be helpful or harmful to my 5-year-old son? Thank you and God bless this masterclass. Do you want to start? Has Primo started play dates already via
Um
online communication?
yung mga ginoin pa lang niya yung mga party, yung mga pa-Zoom parties. That's
Kumusta
what
naman
that's
siya?
nakakatuwa. Parang the first time I felt na, I mean, knowing him and his uh his attention span, sabi ko, I don't think he's gonna, I mean, I'll turn it on and then he can be in and out of the party. So the first one, parang he wasn't sure, and then he'd watch, and then eventually when he would see other kids online na kilala niya, sinusubukan pa niyang kausapin.
Mhm.
He'd try to
Mhm.
talk to them. So I mean,
Yeah.
he enjoys it, especially when they start singing and dancing, or when he sees um, characters that he's familiar with. So yeah, I don't
The
see
encouragement.
why it could be harmful. So far, parang, I mean, right now it's the only way we can socialize. So, I'll take it.
Yeah, the encouragement even for schools is that they be given time just to talk with one another apart from the class itself,
Hmm.
to be given like 5 to 10 minutes for the children to talk with one another. They're not muted in the call, just to mimic the class dynamics, the physical
Uh-huh.
class dynamics. So, is it
Yes.
harmful or helpful? Being helpful or harmful, Mommy Patrice, it's really up to you, because if they're 3 to 5 years old, you should be beside them. For the
Mm.
preschoolers, we always require a guardian or a parent to be nearby, because, first of all, there might be technical difficulties. Secondly, of course, you have to protect your privacy. Baka naman kasi yung anak mo, Iya, pinapakita na yung buong bahay mo sa lahat ng tao, di
Oo.
ba?
Baka
So
mamaya nagbibihis
you
pala
have
ako
to
sa
be,
banyo.
oo nga. So imagine that. You have to be close to them when they're 3 to 5 years old. So
Hmm.
being helpful or harmful is really also entirely on the managing of the gadget.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Teacher
Yeah.
Tina. And from Mommy
How about,
Francesca.
mhm.
Hi, Teacher Tina. Would like to ask lang if there is such a thing as under socialized for preschoolers.
You know, my experience with our preschoolers, there were children who were shy or had difficulty interacting with other kids. But we also have to determine if our child is shy or an introvert versus an extrovert, because we also have to honor the different characteristics of our children. We
Yeah.
cannot push them to interact with children if they really don't want to right now. They might not be
Uh-uh.
ready. It doesn't mean that there's a disability or there's something wrong with your child. It's just that sometimes that's the character of your child. And we should really be encouraging their self choice and self reliance, that they were able to choose, Mom, I really don't want to interact right now or to talk with that particular playmate. And we have to honor that. And that's fine.
So you really just have to wait for them to act, when they're
Yeah.
comfortable.
And being under socialized, right now, that isn't our priority. Our priority right
Yeah.
now is for your preschoolers to be safe and to be mentally healthy.
Okay. All right. So thanks for those questions, guys. We will be answering
Okay.
more. But I think right now, I think we should start with our first tip, Teacher Tina, and this is staying social as a family. Because importante,
Yes. And you and
malaki ang role ng family in the socialization of the kids, especially right now since family lang talaga yung ka-interact mo sa bahay.
tama, Iya, and maganda nga yung example ninyo ni Drew with Primo, no, that he sees you interacting with other people. And as you said, kayo lang yung magkakasama ngayon, so kayo lang talaga yung model nila on how to interact with other people. So you have to be very careful in showing your children how to talk to people, how to be kind to people, how
Mhm.
to bless other people and to help them. And that's their number one model, because right now it's really just you that they observe.
Absolutely. How about Teacher Tina, yung mga siblings?
Ay, mga siblings. O, ano naman ang experience mo kay Primo at Leon nung magkasama na sila? Okay
Well,
ba? Okay ba
I
silang naglalaro together?
I love it because right now I feel that I guess the timing of the pandemic has just been perfect because it came at a time when Leon actually really started to interact with his kuya. And I love it.
Yeah.
I would actually prefer. I mean, the two kids, they're still very small, and I've chosen to still not enroll Primo in any school, even at his age, which is 3 years old, because I really prefer just his interaction with Leon. Okay na yun for me eh.
Yeah,
And
and that's a good example that you weren't forced to enroll Primo just because you want him to be socialized. Because as a family, you should also be able to give the social interaction needed by your children. The sibling can also give it. They don't need to go to school if that is the choice of the family. But I also encourage moms to reach out to the children of their friends. So as Primo already joined some online
Mm-hmm.
play dates or
Yep.
parties, and that's good once in a while. But you also really have to encourage them if they have siblings to be able to interact with one another, and also to respect the times that they don't want to
Yes.
play with one another, right? Because that's also part of their social development, that they choose not
Yes.
to interact and then they can play together when they're having fun.
That's right. Paano kaya, Teacher Tina, those who don't have siblings? Oh, you mentioned kanina they can reach out to maybe their neighbors' kids,
Yeah,
right?
their neighbors' kids, but really, Iya, with our experience with children who are the only child lang sila, they have cousins, they also have family members, they might be living in a compound. But if you are just with your family, this is where the parents really come in.
Mm-hmm.
The brain of a child connects, it only develops when it connects with another brain. It doesn't matter if it's an adult brain or a child brain. So if it connects with your brain, that's fine. Then the synapses will connect. But the social development of the brain of your child will click in if it connects with another person. And it can be the father, the mother, the sibling. So it can be an
This,
only child and it's still connected with the parent.
despite the age, I like that. I like that.
Yes, yes.
The reality is, we have to face it. We really just have to stay home until things get better, diba?
That's
And
right.
so we just have to
That's
make
right. And
do
you have to
with
be creative
whoever
as a
we can
parent.
interact with. However you can interact with people, with the ates, with the kuyas, with mama, papa, with whoever. Diba? As you mentioned, it's really just
Yes,
about
because
the connection of brains, no matter what age.
right.
Diba?
And regardless of who that person is. So if the
Oo.
connection is good, if you have a good relationship, then the brains connect very well, it's developed. It doesn't matter who it is.
That's right, Teacher Tina. Although we know that, because this is also new to everyone, it does take its toll mentally and emotionally on the adults, and lalo na in our children. So, are there any long-term effects of quarantine on kids?
Right now, Iya, there's no psychological study yet. We're all on the same boat, quote
Mm-hmm.
unquote. But psychologists are trying to tell parents that we have to be careful. That if number one, it's the physical health that we need to look out for. Number two, really is mental health, because this is
Okay.
not a normal situation. It's like
Yeah.
everybody is going through a period of grief. And imagine if your friend or your relative is going through a period of grief, di ba mas maingat ka sa kanila, mas maingat ka
Yes.
magsalita, mas
Yes.
maingat ka, para silang may sakit di ba? So we
Yes.
also have to be very careful when we talk to our children, even if we're so anxious. If we
Mm-hmm.
need time apart from them to just release all the anxiety before we go back, we're better parents.
Do it.
We can talk to them more calmly.
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Yeah.
Would you say there are warning signs that we can watch out for in our kids?
That goes to tip number two. The
Okay,
number one
perfect.
tip that I can give you for physical behavior and physical red flags. Now,
Ayan.
tip number two is watch out for physical and behavioral changes. So,
All
for
right.
example, Iya, si Primo, meron kang issue sa kanya, di ba? Ang una
Mm-hmm.
mong chine-check dapat ay physical flags. Number one,
Okay.
is Primo eating? Is he sleeping? Or he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't sleep at all? Or he's oversleeping?
Or having
Is
a
he
hard time
suddenly
sleeping.
Yes, or is he suddenly throwing a tantrum out of nowhere? Is he physically detaching or emotionally detaching himself from the family? Something very bizarre or different from the usual primo that you know. And you only know this if you're connected with your child, right?
Yes.
You'll only know if there are changes with primo if you know him so well that that you're sensitive to his needs.
Actually, this is
Okay?
why I
So
really want
one
to encourage our moms and dads to really interact with their kids. Kasi tulad ng sinabi ni Teacher Tina, you can be in the same house but still be socially distant. It doesn't mean na
that's
dahil
right.
magkasama kayo sa isang bahay na
Close na
magkasama nga
kayo.
kayo. Pag hindi kayo nagko-connect, you really have to connect because dun mo lang malalaman kung ano yung normal para sa anak mo at kung ano yung hindi normal sa anak mo. And these are the things that I really
Yes.
want to watch out for right now.
Right. Because doon mo lang malalaman talaga kung may pagbabago, kung kilalang-kilala mo siya, di ba? So, ang number one, usually, iyan, sinasabi nila masakit ang tiyan nila. Sometimes, anxiety shows itself with tummy ache. So, sa school namin, pag may nagre-reklamo ng tummy ache, apart from, kumain ka na ba? Kailangan mo ba mag-bathroom? Tinatanong namin, may quiz ka ba ngayon sa math? Kasi baka may anxiety or may fear. So, lumalabas yun minsan sa tummy aches, headache. So, you have to know the patterns of your children when they suddenly complain or they change their behavior. That's tip number 2.
Would you say, Teacher Tina, na for those na may mga anak na isa lang, would you say that they're more vulnerable to experiencing this? Or same lang, whether they have siblings or whether they're the only child?
Sa experience namin, wala namang pagbabago. Siguro pag isa lang ang anak ninyo, you have to be more conscious on how to socialize them with other people. Kasi nga, nag-iisa lang siya sa bahay.
Okay. All right. So now that the Teacher Tina has identified the signs to watch out for, ngayon naman, let's go. Maybe we can talk about the ways on how we can help them cope, particularly with socialization tips and tricks at home. Okay, so paano naman to, Teacher Tina?
Well, first of all, when you notice that your child is showing different behavior, sudden tantrums, being detached, you have to look first for the pattern on what are the triggers when this happens.
Okay.
So, I think natitrigger yan. Nakikita kong ginagawa niya yan kapag nakikita niyang si mommy nagbibihis for a call. Ibig sabihin, may fear siya na aalis si mommy. Parang ganon, diba? So yung may pattern.
Yes.
We have to be that conscientious about everything we do and very observant of our children when we're doing it with them.
Okay, all right. So, Teacher Tina, thank you for that. Before we move on to tip number 3, we have a few people to say hello to. Si Malu Cruzado, Julie Ann Antoque, and Maj Motos Salomon. I'm so happy you guys have tuned in. Yes.
Yeah,
thanks for joining us.
And there are a lot of questions. You want to do question number 1?
Okay, sure. This is from Mommy Sanya. Hi, Mommy Iya and Teacher Tina. Lagi tayo nag-set ng screen time to our kids. But given the situation, how do we set limits if it will be their life for the next months to come? You know what? I know exactly how you feel. I know exactly how you feel, Mommy Sanya. Oh, Teacher Tina, kasi syempre parang, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, I mean, it's been already, 5 months and counting. So parang, how can we set limits pa kung baka mamaya talagang araw-araw na talagang ganito na may screen time na sila. Actually, medyo tinanggap ko na nga dito sa bahay namin.
Alam mo, Iya, kung bago nangyari itong pandemic, kung tanungin mo sa akin, dapat bang may gadget ang bata? Sasabihin ko, siguro pwede niyong i-forgo. Diba? The later, the better. Diba? But now, we have to be progressive also we have to be progressive with our parenting. That when something like this happens, like right now, mommies, napapanood nyo kami using your gadget. Meron naman palang saysay. It's a tool for you to learn.
Yes.
So you also have to show your children that this is also a tool for them to learn. So that they can create something, they can learn something. And they just don't consume and just watch online streaming all the time, right? It has to be interactive. You can look for apps that are interactive or like games, learning games. If they're enrolled, they have Google Classroom or their learning management system that they have, and they know that it's a tool for them to reach out to their teachers and their classmates. So it's really up to the parents and how they manage this tool, because right now ginagamit niyo yung tool na yan para makinig sa amin ni Iya, so natututo rin kayo. So pwede rin matuto yung mga anak niyo using a gadget.
Baka sabihin nila, si mami nga gadget ng gadget, ako hindi.
So example yun, ha?
Diba?
Kung gusto nyo ibaba ng bata yung gadget, kailangan ibaba nyo rin yung gadget.
Ibaba mo rin.
Diba? Yes, diba? At maglaro.
At saka, there are a lot of educational shows that they can stream now na nakakatuwa. Like, si Prima was able to learn about antibodies. Akalain mo, at his age, ginagamit na yung word na antibodies sa akin ngayon.
Yeah, there are a lot of books.
Yeah.
There are a lot of books that came out about what's really happening that are developmentally appropriate. So, kung meron kayong listahan na ganyan, kailangan din meron kayong offline bucket list ng activities na hindi kailangan ng gadget para balansado.
Okay. All right. And
Okay.
from Mommy Yanni,
Okay, from Mommy Yani.
pakikipagkapwa-tao kasi nag-struggle ako dun sa
Nag-pause.
pakikipagkapwa-tao. Nag-lag ako dun. Humina yung signal ko
Okay.
bigla eh.
Uwi na yung signal mo. Magandang rason yan.
Pakikipagkapwa-tao. We learn it mostly in school. So how do you introduce pakikipagkapwa-tao in the new norm?
Alam mo, Mami Yani, tanong ko sa'yo, nakikita ka ba niyang nakikipagkapwa-tao sa tindahan, pag bumibili kayo ng pagkain nyo, sa guard, kung saan kayo nakatira, sa angels nyo sa bahay, o mga kasambahay ninyo, kay daddy, nakikipagkapwa-tao ka ba, mabait ka ba sa daddy nila, kayo ang pinapanood nila. So, hindi kailangan ng ibang modelo. Unahin niyo muna yung sarili ninyo kasi kayo ang magkasama ngayon sa bahay.
Yeah, hindi naman sa school lang naman inaaral yon. Kahit sa bahay.
Oo, pakikipagkapwa-tao, unang-una, tinitingnan niya kung lagi kayo nag-aaway ni daddy.
Yes. Sana dahil parati kayong magkasama ni Daddy sa bahay, sana hindi pa masyado umiinit yung ulo niyo sa isa't isa. Dahil apektado din yung mga bata niyan.
Yes. Naku, ibang topic yan. Isang
Yes,
buong
iba naman yan.
masterclass.
Okay. Ibang masterclass na yun, Teacher Tina. Okay. So yan,
Ibang
Mommy Yani.
masterclass yan. Oh.
I hope we were able to answer your question, Mommy Yani. We also have a question from Mommy
Yes.
Regina Joyce. Hi, what are your recommendations in guiding kids with their social skills post-social distancing?
So after all of this, yeah,
okay.
diba?
Kunwari, okay na lahat.
Miracle. Ang suggestion ko sa inyo do it slowly, hinay-hinay lang, no? When there is a major change in your life, when you're going back to whatever normal you are looking forward to, because yung normal natin before, hindi na tayo babalik dun eh. We're supposed to be looking forward to a new normal. After all of this, let's go back to whatever you were doing before. Kasi yung familiarity, which we'll be talking about after this, the tip after this is going to explain this, that something familiar you have to go back to para your child can grab footing, parang, okay, this is familiar. Then they can accept something new again.
All right, perfect.
So
Why don't we go ahead? Why don't we go ahead and give them tip number 3?
Okay, kasi we have to greet first, Mommy Iya, all our 1,800, almost 2,000 viewers. So thank you so much.
Yay, guys! Thanks for joining us. Ayan, baka may mga ibang tanong pa kayo dyan.
Kapit, mga viewers.
Ayan.
So tip number 3 is, my favorite tip is routine. Create routines that promote bonding and communication. But first of all, what is a routine? A routine, Mommy Iya, is something that you do regularly. It's a schedule of your child para magkaroon ng rhythm yung araw niya, magkaroon ng rhythm yung family ninyo. It's something that will pacify him because he knows what's going to happen next. Alam ko na every night kakain kami ng dinner together. So I look forward to that. I'm going to tell my stories. But right now, gano'n naman talaga nangyayari, di ba? Araw-araw kayo magkasama, araw-araw kayo nagdi-dinner. So ano po mga routines na pwede ninyong gawin sa isa't isa? So kayo ni Primo, alam ko nagbe-bake kayo together.
We bake, we swim,
what else?
Even when I get a massage sa massage chair namin, gusto din niyang kasama din siya dyan.
At nagpagupit din siya nung nagpagupit ka. Nakita ko yun.
Actually, yung papa niya yung nagpagupit. So sabi niya, I'll get a haircut too. I was like, okay.
Oh. So may mga activities rin, Iya, na ginagawa ninyo as a family that becomes a ritual or a routine for your child. And that's great because it's still connection. It doesn't have to be connected with other people, but it's still connection between family members.
Yeah. Actually, yung mga, we do a lot of things together in the day, but it also depends on, yun nga, syempre mga anak natin, hindi natin pwedeng pilitin, at saka minsan may mga araw na wala din gana. Kunwari, before, yun nga, I would have Primo earn his stickers on the iPad before having his game time or screen time.
Yeah.
Pero kapag wala siyang gana and he wants to play with sand, di sige. Game ako dyan. So we'll just play with sand. So it's really just, for us, we really just take the cue of the kids. Kung anong gusto nila, dun kami.
That's a good statement. Taking cues from your children is an important thing because they should also be taught that they have a say in the choices of their activities for the day. and you manage that, and you respect and you honor their choices.
That was our tip number three. Creating routines that promote bonding and communication, lalo na para sa mga anak natin na minsan they kind of get a little antsy with what's happening. Nag-iba yung mundo, nag-iba rin yung takbo ng routine nila. So now we have to create a routine, even if it's just they're at home, para maging familiar pa rin sila. At it gives them also a sense of security. Teacher
That's
Tina,
right.
are there specific kinds of play that can help develop social skills?
Oh, if you notice the Primo, when your boys were together, or if Primo was with his friends, he doesn't really play with other children, but they're playing close to one another.
Yes. Parallel play. Yun
Well,
ba yung
that's called,
tawag doon, Teacher Tina?
yeah, it's called parallel play. And before interactive play, it really comes from parallel play first, because children need to, check other children out first. They have their own world, and then magko-connect yun. So yung tip number 4 natin, Iya, is you have to provide opportunities for interactive play so that the children play with one another. So when you notice with your boys, biglang magkakatabi silang naglalaro, maya-maya, pareho na silang naglalaro together, interactive na yung laro nila. So that's really the stages. It starts with parallel, and then they interact with one another. So we have to give opportunities for that.
Alam mo, Teacher Tina, I have to say I've chosen not to enroll Primo into school because I feel that itong interactive play na nagagawa naman namin dito sa bayang mas importante sa akin. Interactive play like paghuhugas ng pinggan, if he wants water play and play with his water toys, and I'm fine with that. If he wants to bake in the kitchen, or if he wants to learn how to cut using scissors, I'm fine with that. I love interactive play. Actually,
yeah, because it's the basic definition of interactive play. Playing interactively with another person. So even if your child is an only child, if he plays interactively with you as a parent, I see you, you're on the floor doing puzzles with the boys,
playing with sand or
playing with sand, very tactile materials.
Yes.
That's very interactive play. And then your children are going to learn, okay, when we're playing, I need to share. Because, younger children, they don't know how to share because they own everything in their eyes, right?
Oh my goodness.
You can't force.
Tell me about it.
Right. You can't force a toddler or a preschooler to share. You have to wait for an opportunity to show them a teaching moment na, well, you can only do that if you only share the toy with your brother. He'll share with you if you share with him. And then something clicks. Okay. So these are the things that they learn during interactive play. They learn a lot of values. They learn how to wait their turn. Like when they're playing with a toy, it's not my turn yet. It's Leon's turn, right?
Yeah.
It's very hard for them to let go of that. Oh my gosh, I want to play with it already, but my brother is still playing with it. These are skills that we sometimes forget children should be able to develop while interactively playing with other children.
How about, Teacher Tina, the use of gadgets or playing online? Does that count as an interactive play?
It's going to count as interactive play if your app or the gadget that you're using or the show that you're watching is also interactive. Like it asks questions, it asks you, there's a game that you have to answer, right? So it's you're connecting with the gadget, you're creating something with the gadget, and you're just not consuming with the gadget.
Okay.
Which goes to our next tip, but ang dami pa rin nagtatanong. Yeah, you have to shout out to everyone.
I told you, Teacher Tina, ang dami magtatanong talaga.
O sige, mag-hi muna tayo. Okay. Mag-hi ka muna sa kanila bago natin sagutin ang questions.
Hello, Banya, Krisha, hello. Thanks for tuning in. Missy Ison and Meg Pinocchio. Hello.
Okay.
Thanks for watching, guys. I'm glad na libre kayo para mapanood kami.
Okay, so let's go to question number 1. Okay, from Mommy Amina De Luna. As parents, we respond to things based from our experiences in life. But how do we instill that to our kids without physical interaction? Nahirapan ka ba, Iya, na walang physical interaction with friends, family? especially with
Nahihirapan
your boys.
well, nakakalungkot because of course there are some people that you used to see every day dahil yun yung routine mo.
Yeah,
So, yun,
yeah.
namimiss ko. But hindi ako nahihirapan dahil hindi ko sila nakikita, hindi ko sila kailangan yakapin. So, mas okay
Mahirap
ng
talaga
ganito.
kasi, oo, kasi 50% of communication skills, iyan natanggal sa atin, and that's physical connection, no? So, tama yung tanong ni Mami Amina na, paano nga natin to i-instill sa mga bata? Pero alam nyo, lahat naman tayo are going through the same thing. So, pagkatapos nito, I trust that slowly but surely babalik rin tayo dun sa mga rituals natin before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let's really hope for that, and let's hope it'll happen soon.
Yeah.
Basta safe
And
tayo
with children naman, saka with children naman, Mami Iya, madali silang matuto ulit. 'Di ba? Pagkatapos nitong lahat, 'di ba? Mahirap lang talaga ngayon yung sasabihin, don't kiss or don't hug, don't touch. 'Di ba? Ang daming don'ts. 'Di ba?
So, lalo na with kids because of course, I mean, kids don't really understand how fast the transmission of germs is.
Right,
so parang you don't want to keep on telling them stop because lalo na at this age you don't want to stop them from exploring, but right now,
I know,
if it's what's going to keep them safe and healthy, parang you kind of have to like stop them. So let's just stay home para at least dito sa bahay,
because that's
alam
the
natin
first
safe
priority.
sila. Yeah, at least alam natin dito sa bahay they can touch anything and everything and that they're safe.
At saka matututo sila pagkatapos ng lahat ng ito.
Yes.
All
right,
so
from Mommy Sanya, ang values na to-train siya sa labas ng bahay because of external parties. How do you make sure na well-developed pa din ang ugali ng isang bata now?
Alam mo, ang pag-uugali ng bata, hindi lang naman din sa pakikipag, parties, connections. It really starts from home. Generosity, helpfulness, being kind to other people. They see it through you and how you interact with them and with other people in the house.
Yeah.
So huwag kayong mag-aalala na hindi babait yung anak niyo just because wala silang nakikitang ibang tao. It really starts with you.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. Hindi kailangan sa school yan. It really depends. They will see, if they see you and how you interact with people, magiging ganun din sila.
It's always the energy of the parent that they imbibe.
Yes. Okay, and our third question from Mommy Micaela Denise. Enough na po bang socialization ang yung interactive games sa internet? Okay. We answered this kanina.
Yes, but you also have to socialize through online conversations with your classmates or with your friends.
Actually, well, sakto yung tanong niya. Because yun nga, yung interactive games sa internet, of course, ibig sabihin kailangan natin ng gadgets. So, our tip number 5 is how to use technology as a tool to stay in touch, because this is our only way of socializing right now.
Kagaya ng mga nanonood sa atin, mga libo-libong nanonood sa atin ngayon, Mami Iya, ginagamit nila ang kanilang gadget para matuto sila become better parents. That is how we should teach our children also, that it is a tool that they can use to communicate with other children or with other people, or si lolo at si lola na hindi natin makita ngayon, si tito, si tita, yung mga pinsan natin at mga kaklase natin noon, mga kaibigan natin ngayon. Why not use the gadget to communicate with them? We just need to be careful, Iya, na their eyes, kasi alam nyo, may mga pediatric ophthalmologist. Nag-hang si Teacher Tina for a while. May mga pediatric ophthalmologists that are saying that they should have several breaks when they're using a gadget. They should not be on their gadget for more than 2 hours straight without breaks. And they really have to protect their eyes. And at the same time, we also want to give them other offline activities apart from using gadgets.
Can you repeat that again, Teacher Tina? Baka na-miss ng mga moms at dads natin. Okay, so not more than 2 hours a session?
Yes, not more than 2 hours for
they should
using
have breaks
gadget.
in between. And they should protect their eyes. So yung mga yung mga glasses tulad ng mga ginagamit namin dito ni Primo sa bahay, to help with the blue light. Tama ba 'yon?
Yung blue light kasi minsan, Mami Iya, it also affects their sleep.
Ayan.
So that's why they psychologists and doctors also suggest that you also don't sleep with your phone with you because it
Yes.
also
Mm-hmm.
disturbs your sleeping patterns.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So I hope you guys got that down, mga moms and dads. Syempre, aside from these virtual calls or play dates, ang tanong, are there other safe ways to socialize using gadgets or technology?
Well, using technology, socializing with other people, fine. But you can also play games. Like there are a lot of games, Mommy Iya, that are getting so much black. But if you think about it, you know these games when they interact with other children.
Mm-hmm.
But they make houses, they make communities,
Yes.
they ask each other, how am I gonna make this house? Right?
Yes.
If you think about it, that's the reality of their world. Whenever you create something, you talk to a friend, how are we going to do this together? So that's group work, right? So you have to
Mm-hmm.
choose a game also where it imbibes the dynamics of children talking with one another in order to
Mm-hmm.
achieve a goal so that they mimic the dynamics in the outside world of them, creating a fort or making
Mm-hmm.
castles, sand castles, or,
Yeah.
any project that they have with their classmates. There are a lot of games also that are doing that.
Yes. But of course, at the end of the day, moms and dads, all the parents out there watching, don't forget to set parameters or rules on screen time. 'Di ba? Sa
Right.
paggamit ng gadget ng mga anak natin,
Kasi,
right,
kasi
teacher?
yeah, we also have to accept the fact that a lot of the 3 to 5 years old are also having online classes. So they
Uh-huh.
should also have a break in between because they need the gadget for school. So sana yung
Mm-hmm.
oras na hindi sila naka-gadget ay ma-maximize din ng offline activity.
Yes. Yeah, actually, you know what, Teacher Tina, guilty din ako of minsan relying too much on technology these days. Kung dati, tulad ng when people would ask you, can they use iPad? Can they use gadgets? Before I used to be like, no, 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 no. Now it's like,
Yeah,
parang you come to terms with it, and you realize that it's not all bad. There is good in
it's
it as
not all
long as you
bad.
can choose. Yeah, you can choose what apps, you can choose what they see and what they take in when they use their gadgets, diba? And I know a lot of you parents might be feeling guilty too. Kasi yung
you
totoo,
know,
I mean, of course, if your kid can be quiet in their corner, that also gives you quiet time and you get to do your thing. So, if that is what your purpose is, if you want to gain some quiet time, then maybe you can set a short amount of time in a day, and give that to your kid and also give that to yourself. I would say that that's healthy for the both of you also.
I think the things that you have to watch out for that's not healthy anymore is number one, they cannot give up the gadget. They don't
Yan,
do
yes.
anything else. Yes, they don't do anything else but the gadget.
Mm-hmm.
If you notice that their attention span is getting shorter and shorter because of the gadget, then those are the red flags that really you need to step back and ask yourself, what is he doing with that gadget? Is it just a
Yes.
tool or is it consuming his whole day?
You
Right?
know what,
So
Teacher Tina? That was something that I noticed in Primo. There was a time that Primo, parang I felt that he was always so whingy. He was always nah nah. And then sabi ko, I think he's getting too much gadget time. So that's when I take it away. And if I feel that it's changing his behavior and his attitude, then yeah, then that's when okay. I think you've had enough of that.
see, and you'll only notice that, yeah, if you're really connected with Primo. Yeah, you notice these nuances, these little nuances, if you're really connected with your child and you know him pretty well. That there is a
Absolutely.
change, and this is the reason why.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so Teacher Tina, oh, are we done? Are we down to
We're
our
on the
last
last. We're
tip?
we're
Oh,
down to our last tip, and this is the tip that we want to gusto ko siyang ipa-tarp, pa-print sa tarp para ibigay sa mga magulang.
kailangan gawin tong billboard sa EDSA. Kaso,
Tama,
hindi na
tama.
nakakatlabas
Oo.
ng tao sa EDSA. So, gawin na lang commercial para lahat nakakapanood sa bahay. Ayan.
So ang tip number 6 natin ay don't stress too much. Ayan. 'Di ba nga
Ayan
Iya,
ha.
we're going through this together,
Mm-hmm.
this weird but
Time.
historic worldwide pandemic, and
Mm-hmm.
social distancing is part of being safe, right? And I know you can be anxious, you can be stressed, you can be depressed, and we have to honor that if we feel that, mommies. There is help online for that. We have to be open that because we need to put energy back in our energy tank in order for us to give it to our children. So it's
Yes.
okay that you put yourself first on the list. Put a little me time, like kami ni Iya nag-exercise.
Yes, Teacher Tina, I love
Diba?
it.
So, kailangan magbigay rin kayo ng oras para sa inyong sarili, para meron din kayong maibigay sa inyong mga anak. And if you also follow the tips, if you also set a routine for yourself, if you're also interactively playing with your children, it also lessens the stress that you feel in all of this that's happening right now.
Yeah, I really feel that if you can just see the silver lining, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's not so bad. Yes, there might be some things that you might be worrying about, but there is still so many things to be grateful for. Like even just having that pandesal that you can eat every morning, or having that cup of
Yes.
coffee, diba? Even just being home and healthy with your family, that's
Yes.
already something to be happy about, diba?
Just
So,
breathe,
mhm. So even if there's
breathe.
so many bad and scary things happening, you can't deny the fact that this whole crisis has also brought people together at home. So yeah, if you are like me, I'm sure you must be loving the extra time that you're having with your family. Diba? And you
Yeah,
also
and
should be lucky to be working from home. It might be hard given the situation if you have kids na nanggugulo, but if you have the option to work from home, even better.
even better, and teach your children how are we going to help out the people who are not having an easy time being at home. How do we help
Hmm.
out frontliners? How do we pray for our frontliners? I think a part of the social development of our children is them teaching them how to be generous, and that's how they
Yeah.
connect with other people, even through a prayer that
Yes.
let's wish them well, let's
Yeah.
offer this drawing to a nurse or to a doctor who's a frontliner. That's also part of social development for children. So how are they going to help others? That's very important for you to show.
Teacher Tina, do you have any tips for the parents on how we can all better take care of ourselves so that we can better take care of our families? You mentioned kanina already, like working out. Working out is one thing.
Yeah, you have to take time and take care of yourself physically because of what's happening right now. You
Okay.
have to take care of yourself mentally, meaning you also have to honor Iya if you're feeling depressed, you're feeling
Yeah.
anxious, you're feeling stressed. There are people that you can talk to if you don't
Yes.
have friends that are available right now, but there are
Mm-hmm.
professionals who can you can also counsel with.
Mm-hmm.
And also just have that quiet time in the morning when you wake up and you're alone. You plan your day, you do the routines, and really appreciate the time that you have right now with your children 24/7. Because before this is what you prayed about, this is what you asked for, that you have more time with your kids. So appreciate the time with them. Appreciate the time with them.
Absolutely. You can take time for rest. Self-care talaga is important. Don't feel
Yeah,
selfish. Don't feel selfish if it's something that
that's
it's
right.
gonna keep you sane. It's also, if you're sane and you're happy, then you can also be a happy mom and a happy dad for your family, diba?
That's
At
right.
saka, you know what, Teacher Tina, if you're lucky and you have help at home, um then yeah, delegate tasks.
Eh kasi naman, Iya, ang Filipino mom, gusto niya siya lahat ang gagawa.
Alam mo naman,
Alam
kaya
mo
ko kasi
naman,
lahat eh.
tayo. Oo, kaya Wonder Woman kasi tayo, di ba? So sometimes
Kaya.
kailangan natin i-rethink the plan para mabigyan natin ng pag-aalaga ang ating mga sarili.
Yes, Teacher Tina, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Iya. I had such a fun time sharing all of these things with you and with the mommies and daddies who are listening to this masterclass.
Yes, I learned so much, and I hope that all of you guys did. I know that you guys all did. So, again, we're going to go over the tips again. We have tip number one: stay social as a family. Kaya hindi porket magkasama kayo lahat sa bahay, ibig sabihin close na kayong lahat. You really have to interact with each other, talk to each other. Tip number two: watch out for physical and behavioral changes. Ayan, tulad ng sinabi ni Teacher Tina, kapag medyo sumasakit yung tiyan nila, ng mga bata, yun yung number one na napapansin nila. Or yun nga, if you interact with the children and if you know them, malalaman mo na may naiiba sa kanilang behavior. Tip number 3, create daily routines that promote bonding and communication. Wake up in the morning, you can have breakfast together or have your 15 minutes of playtime. Kung ano mang routine na yan, keep it up because it gives your children a sense of familiarity and security. Since medyo nakakawindang na talaga yung mundo natin. Tip number 4, provide opportunities for interactive play so you can cook together, whatever. Just do things together or even let your kid interact with another child, whether it's on a Zoom party or with our sibling, of course. And tip number 5, use technology as a tool to keep in touch, but regulate. Regulate. Yun. Tip number 6, don't stress too much.
Yes.
Try not to stress. I know it's a different kind of time that we are in, but lilipas din to. All right? We just have to take it a day at a time and continue to see the silver lining. Again, thank you again, Teacher Tina. Oh, wait, you know what? I think we still have questions from our friends who are watching. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Please.
Ang dami ng questions actually eh.
If you guys want to ask questions, don't forget to use the hashtag Toddler Expert Tips, huh? All right. Okay. So who do we have and what do we have? Ayan, baka nahihirapan na pumili.
Ayan, may nagpapa-shoutout pa.
Ayan, hi Trish Bunanig. Hello. To Vera Garino and Vilma Rupak. Hi guys. Thanks for watching. Okay,
so question number 1.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll read question number 1. From Mommy Yani Lee, there are times that my kid ayaw na akong kausap because maybe he's sawa of me, given that it's only me and him at home. How to avoid that sawa factor? Una-muna, paano tayo nakasiguradong sawa na sila sa atin? Alam mo, Mommy, meron talagang mga times na ang anak natin, lalo na when they're growing up, when they're getting older na, ina nila, yun yung nakakapit sa'yo before, Iya. Ayaw naman si Mama.
Ayoko dumating yung araw na yan.
No, enjoy ka muna. Pero, baka kasi tama ka, pwedeng nagsawa. Hindi naman din nagsawa. Ang ibig lang sabihin something different. Baka he wants to talk to a friend. Why not reconnect with a friend who's also his friend? Diba? Alam mo, joint kayo since hanggang forever dahil mag-ina kayo. Pero, kailangan talaga niya makakonect with other people. Na hindi naman siya nagsawa sa inyo. Kailangan lang niyang kumausap ng ibang tao. And very normal yon sa development ng bata.
Yeah. Siguro just respect him or her na lang.
Yes.
And then eventually, I'm sure kapag naghanap na din siya ng, kasi kung wala din naman siyang choice, lalapit din yan sa'yo para kausapin ka niya.
ang visual ko dyan, Iya, ganito. Ikaw yung do you swim?
Yes.
Do you swim? Okay. So, a parent is the wall. When you're swimming, di ba you go to the wall to breathe?
Yes.
That's your resting place. Every parent should be the breathing space of their children. You know, that's where they breathe. So that's where they rest, and then they kick you. They go back to the water. So sometimes it's hard when they don't talk to you anymore to go back to their friends. But that's part of the development of children. They need to say goodbye to their childhood and enter another. That's another masterclass altogether.
Ayan. So don't worry, Mommy Yani. Kung
yes.
If he or she feels that if you feel that they don't really want to talk to you, then ikaw na lang ang maki-Zoom party ka na lang sa mga friends mo.
Sa mga friends mo may mga anak din. Okay, question number 2.
Mommy Gerald Lagman. Mommy Gerald Lagman. I'm a mom of 2 kids and schooling will start soon. How do I make a routine if I need to balance 2 of my kids doing homeschooling since si Mister currently working from home?
Nako, Mommy, mahirap talagang i-map yung space and i-share yung time. Mag-share kayo ng internet, mag-share kayo ng space all together. And ang number one ko dyan ay routines, routines, routines. Kailangan yung schedule ang oras ninyo at ang schedule ng mapping ng physical layout ng bahay ninyo so that harmonious yung pagsasama ninyo sa bahay ng sabay-sabay. Diba, Iya? So, kunwari,
Yes.
magkatabi silang nag-homeschool sa dining table, baka kailangan nating maging industrious, maghanap tayo ng noise cancelling earphones para pwede silang magkatabi pero hindi sila nagkakarinigan. Pwede bang yung asawa ninyo pag nag-work from home nasa ibang lugar, 'di ba, sa bahay? So, ang laking topic nito pero ang sinasabi ko sa inyo, mahirap po talaga pero exciting yan pag pinaplano nyo na yung physical space
Yes.
ninyo at yung time schedules ninyo together.
At saka isipin mo na lang when all of this passes, yung masasabi mo, kinaya mo yan.
Kayang-kaya ko pala na nag-share tayong
Di ba?
lahat ng internet.
Kaya naman pala eh. Oh, but I have to admit, I'm sure that that must be very challenging, lalo na kung
It's
dalawa na
very
sabay.
challenging.
Oo.
It's
So,
very challenging,
props to
yeah, and
you.
especially if some schools require a parent to be a guardian while they're doing online school, and then the parent needs to work from home also. So it's really tough. It's going to be difficult, but it's also going to be very exciting if you map out everything properly.
Yeah. So props to all the moms and dads who have to work from
Yes,
home
mabuhay
and
kayo,
also,
mabuhay kayo.
yes, mabuhay ko, and also have kids to homeschool. Grabe. Okay, and from mommy CJ Arceta, Teacher Tina, how do you make sure to make life at home interactive without the internet?
Naku, mas interactive ang buhay pag wala ngang internet. Kasi ang
Yes.
dami yung pag-iisipang gawin.
Mas maganda
Mas
nga kung wala kayong option. Oo.
Kasi mas creative kayo eh. 'Di ba? Alam mo, you have to fill your child's life with a lot of books, a lot of games, but also a lot of conversations. Ikwento nyo lahat ng mga ginawa ninyo nung bata kayo. Why not? It's going to increase their verbal skills, your bonding, and your interactive play. So, just connect with your children. Madami kayong maiisip na ways to connect with them at home.
Yes. Okay, wow. Whew. A lot of questions. I'm sure there are many more pa. But I think that's it. But thank you to everyone for sending in your questions. We hope that you learned something valuable. I know you learned something valuable from our session today with Teacher Tina. Sana nakatulong ang aming tips in helping your kids stay social in this day and age of social distancing. And I hope that we were also able to provide you with some strategies on how to raise your children to be sociable and develop healthy social emotional skills kahit na nasa bahay lang tayo. So again, Teacher Tina, thank you so much.
Thank you, Iya. Thank you to everyone who watched. I hope to see you all again soon.
Of course, before we finish our session, I'd like to encourage everyone to learn more toddler expert tips by following at Nido3Plus on Facebook. And you can also search Toddler Expert Tips on YouTube for more videos from our experts on relevant topics. And don't forget to subscribe to Nido's YouTube channel, Nestle Mom and Me Philippines. You know, I'm so glad talaga that Nido3Plus is holding masterclasses like this on toddler expert tips for us moms who want to do the best for our children. You know, they even have a whole series of videos on their YouTube that you can check out. So just check out the comment section for links to their how-tos and guides to nutrition, education, and other concerns that you might have about raising your toddlers. Come say hi. Come say hi, love.
There you are.
Once again, I'm Iya Villania, and see you soon for our next Toddler Expert Tips presented by Nido3Plus. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. Say goodbye to everyone. Bye, guys. Thank you, Teacher Tina.
Bye.
Bye.